This video is proudly sponsored by Newtype. Tools, accessories, model kits, these guys have it. Hop over to newtypehq.com and use the link below to help this channel out for future builds. Hey, what's going on my dudes and dudettes, and welcome back to another exciting build from the good folks from Bandai, Japan. So, why don't we get started with the 1/100 scale Master Grade GATX102 Duel Gundam Assault Shroud from the popular anime series Gundamseed. And without further ado, let's get to it. Yo, welcome back my dudes and dudettes, another unique build from the good folks from Bandai, and if this is your first time to this YouTube channel, welcome! So I am no stranger when it comes to the Gundamseed lineup. I dabbled in building Freedom Gundam a couple months back, and then just recently I built Justice Gundam, which I have to say was probably the most fun I ever experienced of building a Seed model kit next to a perfect grade. So since this year marks the 20th anniversary for Gundamseed as a whole, why not build another Gundamseed model kit? And we are going to be building the Duel Gundam Assault Shroud, and I have to say I was a bit hesitant once again on building another Gundamseed model kit, but this box art once again catches my attention by its stellar dynamic poses. So first side in the box art, we get a nice front and side view of the mobile suit, while at the same time giving me a small glimpse of the detachable armaments called the Assault Shroud, which actually protects the mobile suit when it's in battle, which I love that attention to detail. Once again, give me a small glimpse of the gimmick of this mobile suit, which you can put this guy in an immense amount of dynamic poses, which I absolutely love. A small glimpse of the actual mobile suits you can purchase separately from the mobile suit lineup, and at the same time give you a nice illustration on the front and back side of this mobile suit when he has armor and when he doesn't, and at the same time give a nice little small glimpse of more dynamic poses. Overall, very impressed what I'm looking at, but all that magic really lies what's inside the box, and right off the bat you are happily greeted with the instruction manual. Once again, I absolutely love this illustration of this mobile suit. Didn't really like it at the time, but I'm actually becoming a really big fan of the Gundamseed lineup. First page gives you once again a glimpse of other master grades that you can purchase from the Gundamseed universe, a small glimpse on what you can expect for dry transfers, which is absolutely a standard for these Gundamseeds. A very brief glimpse of the beam rifle, cannon, and shield, and at the same time, next page gives you a beautiful illustration of the mobile suit in front and back, while at the same time introducing the audience to an immense amount of dynamic poses that you could put this mobile suit in. Again, one thing I love about the Gundamseed universe mobile suit design, it is packed with a great range of articulation. I love that even with this heavy armament on it, you can still pull off some really impressive dynamic poses, which I think this is pretty impressive what they were able to do with the engineering of this mobile suit. Next page gives you a good glimpse of what you expect for weapon accessories, the booster in the back, and finally the last we get a nice guide on how to apply the sticker decals. Now this is optional if you don't want to deal with the sticker decals, but I would really recommend you get yourself some water slide decals to make this guy look absolutely amazing. Finally, it's the last page in the very back, gives you a complete color guide if you choose to do some custom painting, and at the same time give you a brief glimpse of how to do some panel lining for the actual little figurine and the actual mobile suit. Now let's talk about runners. Now this kit comes once again with sticker decals, 2 beam sabers, and a plethora of gray runners, so you're going to be pretty much representing the inner frame and weapon accessories. You get a small glimpse of the actual white runners, which is a very pale white, a little bit of a grayish, some sticker decals for the eyes, tons of inner frame pieces for the legs and arms and feet, which is great for great range of mobility. And then once again, you're going to get a handful of these uniquely colored yellow pieces. They're going to a little bit on the orange side, but they actually look great. Nice dark blue runners for the sides, and then a good handful of dry transfers, which is absolutely great if you want to go that extra level of putting that extra flare detail. But probably by far the most striking thing of this mobile suit is its choice of color schemes when it comes to this particular runner. They're a little bit on the light purple, but a little bit on the little blue spectrum, a little gray. You know, I think this is a great departure from the classic Gundam of the white, blue, and red. You know, this uses a combination between light purples, light grays, classic blue pieces like you would see from the shield, and then wrap it up with like a little bit more of an orange instead of a bright yellow pieces for specific key areas. This is actually really good because it creates a nice balance between mid-tone colors and bright colors, you know, a nice perfect harmony between one another. Overall, I'm actually very impressed with this particular color scheme because it breaks me out of my comfort zone of trying something new. Well, I put this kit off long enough and I think it's well overdue to finally build another Gundamseed model kit. Super psyched! So as always, before I get started building this model kit, I need to take a step back and evaluate which areas I want to tackle first. So I'm going to put the arms and legs and the head last and focus all my attention on the weapon accessories. But the one part I really want to pop out is the yellow pieces. They're a little bit on the flat side, need a little bit more of a push to make it more dynamic. So what I'm going to take, what I learned from my kit bash last week, is give a nice metallic orange look to it to make them look absolutely stellar.
You're saying maybe, let's find a disco. You're stuck at home being so lazy. Hey. Give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some energy. some energy. Wanna come dance with me. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. I can see you buzzing like you can't say no. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. Come on, let yourself be free. Be the best that you can be. Come move your body. Come move your body. Only settle for the best. Live your life with no regrets. Come move your body. Come move your body. You must be crazy. Turning me down like that is pretty insane. You need to break free. Live fast and die young and let yourself go. Let yourself go. Hey, give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some energy. Wanna come dance with me. Give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some energy. Wanna come dance with me. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. I can see you buzzing like you can't say no. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. Come on, let yourself be free. Be the best that you can be. Come move your body. Come move your body. Only settle for the best. Live your life with no regrets. Come move your body. Come move your body. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. I can see you buzzing like you can't say no. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. Come on, let yourself be free. Be the best that you can be. Come move your body. Come move your body. Only settle for the best. Live your life with no regrets. Come move your body. Come move your body. Come on, let yourself be free. Be the best that you can be. Come move your body.
Alright, now that I'm 95% done with the weapon accessories, now it's time to add a little more detail into the shoulder mounts. Now, I originally wanted to put like LEDs on both shoulders, but since these areas are really compact, I think it would just make sense to put at least 2 orange LED lights on the left shoulder instead of the right. This will create less complications when it comes to hiding all the electrical wire, while at the same time add a little bit more extra detail to make it look really cool. So in this next part might seem a little complicated, but I'll try my best to explain what I'm basically doing. So I'm going to be taking the smallest Dremel and use it at the very end of each corner of these boosters. Now the idea is to sneak in 2 LED lights in each booster, but the reason why I put in an actual Dremel towards each end of these thrusters is that way when I funnel the electrical wire into there, I can actually lean the LED light flat instead of it sticking outward. This is going to protect the LED light while at the same time make it look accurate when it looks like when it's fully assembled. Alright, now that we're halfway done with this mostly, it's now time to tackle the one area that can be pretty problematic if you want to do some custom painting. So I would really recommend you use yourself some Tamiya masking tape to mask out the eyes, and then use the very end of your clips that you use to hold your model kits upward when you're painting them, and then use it out to groove it around the eyes. Once you get that done correctly, then I would really recommend you use a very sharp X-Acto blade to cut around the eyes so that way you can spray that protective mask area with a flat black. Me personally, I like to use Vallejo, particular Vallejo primer, to mask out the eye section, but for those who want to do hand brush painting, that's going to be pretty difficult to make sure you get all those key areas and prevent light bleeding. So when you do this process, do it with an airbrush. You shouldn't have any issues at all. Alright, my dudes and dudettes, as this video is wrapping up, I want to share with you guys my thoughts and impressions about this mobile suit. So first and foremost, I have to say this, I am such a big fan of these Gundamseed Master Grade kits. I would never imagine I would have so much fun with these kits, even though the inner frame is exactly the same from every Master Grade that I build. It's still a lot of fun, and it gives you tons and tons of range of articulation, particularly around the legs and the arms. Now, what I mean by that is, like, the arms, you get a nice full bend to make it look really good, and at the same time pull off some really good poses. But the real show of the show is the legs. My goodness, these legs are absolutely phenomenal when it comes to using these for like future projects, like say for a kit bash. These are excellent candidates to do some good dynamic poses. They are absolutely easy to assemble. There is no issues when you guys put these things together. They are just a ton of fun. Probably the one problematic area that I had the most issue was trying to connect the Shroud armaments around, I want to say around the hip area. There's these small like square pegs that sit in that area that's just supposed to interconnect the Shroud armament to the hip skirt. And for some reason, I just had a hard time trying to connect it there. It became an issue where I ended up scraping paint, I ended up damaging areas, and towards the very end, I figured since it's going to keep the armaments like permanently on it, I figured just glue it into place. So that's one area to really, deal with it. Here's the thing, you would absolutely do a complete disservice if you went that route, because with the armaments off, you have a very incredible looking mobile suit. I mean, if you want something that's very streamlined, it looks very classic to what you would get from Freedom or Justice Gundam, there's your choice right there. But if you want to add a little bit more bulk to it, give it some more armaments, make it look like a heavy duty tank, and at the same time retaining a very nice art design, go with the Shroud armament. I have to tell you dudes and duds that this is probably the best looking Seed kit I get that. I know some have their feud with the actual pilot. Forget about the pilot. Let's talk about the design. Okay, this is a very impressive looking mobile suit that I built from the Gundamseed lineup. It's literally up there from Justice Gundam, and I had a lot of fun with that. And this one I had just as much as fun working with multiple different kind of colors and multiple range of putting this guy in dynamic poses, and had a little bit of a headache when it came to doing LED installation, but that's the fun when it comes to doing custom builds. It's taking what you learn from other kits, try to utilize what you use from other kits, and if things don't work, it's not the end of the world. You're still improvising and still making something look beautiful. And this team did a really good job with its design, so giving you tons of range of doing any kind of customization. Now, with that being said, the kit is expensive, with the current circumstances we're still going through right now. There's a lot of inflated prices. This thing's going for like 80 bucks on Amazon. Other places going for like 130. Please do your research before you buy this kit and get it for the accurate price. Now, is this kit worth the purchase? I am so happy to tell you, dudes and dudettes, pick it up. It is fun. Big thank you to the Gundam Talk Show dude, Derek. He recommended this kit for me for such a long time, and I kind of put it off because I wanted to work on other projects. Derek, thank you so much. And with that being said, thank you dudes and dudettes for watching this video. Thank you so much for the likes, comments, and subscribes. Big thank you for the new patrons that came in last month. But most importantly, thank you dudes and dudettes for being patient. I know it's taking longer for this content to come up, but I just want to add that little bit extra love to make it look great for you guys. And with that being said, I'll see you dudes and dudettes on the next build.